Allô? Comment ça va? Ça va bien. Douglas et moi, on a commencé un jardin dans la cour de notre nouvel appartement. C'est mon premier. Voir les petites pousses sortir leur tête au fil des jours et des semaines me rappelle ton désir inné de faire croître la vie. C'est un pouvoir que j'ai moi-même négligé au cours des dernières années. Je te sens partout autour de moi. Ce jardin est pour affirmer mon amour pour toi et me convaincre que j'ai le pouvoir de faire grandir la vie.
The concept within the African philosophy is that land is a gift, and land, like the air, like the water, like our lives, are things that we need to take care of and that we need to consider very highly in terms of what we take, what it means to love the land. And I'm having a love affair with the land now that's renewed, because I think as children we play. We play in dirt. We play if it's wet, if it's dry, whatnot. We grow things. I also understand how difficult it is for the next generation to become landowners. So that brings me to the topic of today, which is, I'm going to talk about the traditional susu. And how many of you have heard of that? Anyone? Have you heard of partner, box, kitty, a ROSCA, which is a rotating savings and credit association, which is the academic term for what I do. I think anything that moves us back to where we appreciate the gifts that came naturally, like the land and so on, are going to take us closer to where we need to be on climate change. But climate change is huge, and the only way I think it relates to what I've talked about today, or I can relate it to it, is that we're really talking about how to work together collectively, and the underlying philosophy is about appreciating the gifts that we're given. One of them is the earth. So I'm a banker lady. My mother was a banker lady. My grandma was a banker lady. And many of the women in my community are banker ladies. So what it is that it is a traditional way of saving as a collective, and rotating those savings around the collective. Okay? And there are several ways that it can be organized. It's built on trust. It requires community, collaboration, cooperation, and a commitment that we make to each other. Like, I'm really talking about decolonizing the way we think about how money works, about how the exchange, how our relationship with land that provides everything that we need. Yeah, so if we're really killing ourselves by killing the planet. So I think that's where the philosophies definitely are on the same plane, on the land, right?
Portion?
Just carrot juice, nothing else.
Okay, perfect. Oh, amazing. Oh, damn, that's so good.
And then this one talks about all of the farms.
To be able to consciously organize with each other when there's not a direct financial or incentive for you and your issues is a really important organizing principle that I think helped inform some of the work that we were doing here.
And not to get too anti-capitalist too early in this presentation, but I do think that the nature of capitalism is to have individuals work as individuals. We're not going to get anywhere if we continue to work in our silos, and we do need like whatever resource you have available to give, find out where the best place to give it to is, and then do that. And don't think twice about it. I think millennials and like Gen Z, like, we're such chronic overthinkers. We don't want to do anything wrong. We want to always make sure we're doing things like right and well, and I agree with that, and I love that about us. But sometimes, even with myself, I'm just like, just do it. Literally Shia LaBeouf, like Nike, like, just do it. And even when there are so many forces around you telling you that you don't know what you're doing, or you're doing things wrong, or you're gonna fail, believe and know that you can do literally whatever you want to do, even if there's no clear path set out for you to follow. Forge that shit yourself.
Les pousses continuent de grandir. Je ne pense pas que je fais un bon travail à cultiver ce jardin. Ce qui m'aide, c'est de remarquer les belles choses qui existent autour de moi. Les personnes qui se poussent afin de poursuivre leur but. Ce qui inclut, bien sûr, mes amis.
That thing on? Is it on?
Ces personnes me donnent de la vie en poursuivant leurs rêves les plus chers. Poursuivre ses buts, ça prend des ressources. J'ai décidé de parler à ceux qui détiennent les connaissances et les ressources nécessaires qui leur assurent un avenir confortable, malgré les défis environnementaux auxquels nous sommes et serons confrontés.
It's okay to be overwhelmed by money. A lot of people I know get overwhelmed with my content sometimes because people don't always like thinking about money. I bought my first home at 25 years old, which was really a big deal for me. I was working in the mall for like the majority of the time, at TELUS actually, so I sold phones part-time in the mall to put myself through university. But also I remember my first manager, he advised like on day one, he's like, opt into the stock buying program. I didn't even know what that meant, but I'm like, okay, cool. So basically what I did is I dedicated 6% of my paycheck, every paycheck for 6 years, and the company would match what my contribution would be. So that money continued to grow and is what I used to contribute the down payment on my home. One thing that I had, I guess, the privilege of watching was like my mom growing up. She was a really good saver. She always taught me like saving money is like the best thing you could possibly do. But she didn't really teach me how to think in terms of abundance. And sometimes when we have a scarcity mindset, we undervalue ourselves and we undervalue our value that we can, if we're looking for a job, and we will take like the first offer that might underpay us, but because we're like so scared that that opportunity is gonna slip through our fingers, we take it. So if you're looking to evolve your mindset from scarcity to abundance, having people in your community who are doing things that you wanna do can really make all the difference, I think.
I talk about family, friends, fitness is a big part, and I want to have some fun. And the one F, I always call it the 4Fs, but the one F that I didn't put up there was that I believe in faith in terms of faith in yourself, believing in yourself. And I always believe the next big thing's around the corner. I still believe the next big thing's around the corner.
As a millennial / Gen Z, you know, I think a lot about the future and what is in store, you know, and I think about the legacy that we have been given, you know, in terms of the state of the world and, you know, the inequality that exists and the environmental destruction that is occurring. I don't know what the future will look like environmentally.
No one does.
What do you have concerns for your grandchildren and their livelihood in terms of like getting the chance to enjoy what the world has to offer?
I do believe that collectively we'll start to move forward collectively. And you can only control what you can control. I can control what I can control. But when we get everybody wanting to move in the same direction at the same time, change happens.
Who would you say those people are that need to get on that traction?
I don't know. I think we all own it. I think we all have a part. And I think we can all, I know I can do better. And I know I'm trying to do better. And I would suggest that many of us are still a work in progress. I mean, as soon as it has to always be a work in progress, because as soon as you get to what you think is your destination, well, it's time to set a new goal, no matter what it is.
So we're very happy to have this 140-person gathering space. We've never had really like a space to congregate before. Like on the other rooftop, there isn't really like a good space for people to gather. So we're super stoked to have this big gathering space, and we're gonna have our own greenhouse. We can take a peek over there.
Ooh, yeah, this is deluxe.
Oh yeah, it's bliss. It's people are just in a better mood, you know, when they're around plants. It's like naturally de-stresses you, which is necessary in this very stressful environment from going from the subway and people are screaming at you and yeah.
We have our Harvest Collective Learning Circle Black Food Sovereignty Garden here. And then we have our Indigenous Foodways garden over there with the mounds that are the three sisters planting corn, beans, and squash. So you plant the corn and it grows tall and it acts as a trellis for the beans, which you plant next. And the beans will scavenge for nitrogen in the soil and climb up the corn. And then you plant squash, and that then acts as a ground cover to suppress weeds and provide retain moisture in the soil. So they all help each other out. And then by the end of the season, you get a harvest of corn, beans, and squash. That is this kind of nourishing, fulfilling meal that you make into a stew. And yeah, that's the idea, is they sustain each other and then you can sustain yourselves. It's a beautiful relationship.
Allô? Es-tu là? Allô? Es-tu là? Allô? Es-tu là? Allô? Allô? Es-tu là? Allô? Es-tu là? Maman? Es-tu là? Tu étais ma meilleure amie, ma bestie, ma number one. Est-ce que je t'ai prise pour acquise? Tu es la plus grande créatrice que je connaisse. Ton habileté à nourrir le monde autour de toi était inépuisable. Tu voyais la beauté partout autour de toi. Moi aussi, j'aimerais nourrir le monde autour de moi de façon aussi abondante. Mais comment faire sans éteindre ma lumière intérieure? Maman, s'il te plaît, montre-moi comment m'arroser. Recevoir mes amis pour souper m'aide à me sentir plus proche de toi. Je leur cuisine nos soupes préférées.
And this is all just like chicken bone?
With
Like pumpkin, like for them, like pumpkin is like the flavor that they think butternut is. And that's something that my mom taught me. And so I really like using butternut because it's like it's like a little secret. It's like, you think this is pumpkin, bro? No. No, this is the real taste that you're looking for.
No, it's absolutely fire.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love butternut squash soup.
on niaise,
Oh, we got stock
on rigole.
Oh
my god.
Croissant?
Fuck
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't make anything because I can't cook.
Fair enough. Literally.
On s'accueille dans nos craintes face à l'incertitude.
Would you have kids? That's the question. Is like I'm not sure. Like because like are they gonna be able to live like good, like well with with how the world is going?
C'est une occasion précieuse de pouvoir nourrir les gens que j'aime.
I love corn.
Alex not a corn fan?
No, she's from Iowa.
She loves
That's the corn capital of the fucking U.S.
That makes sense. If you're like, oh, I have things to do, they're like, I literally gave birth.
Yeah. Oh my. 9-month thing, but I'm like.
Oh, man.
Only could be a little shorter.
Yeah. If I was premature, I would have argued. I would have argued back, but.
Et leur accorder cet espace d'être eux-mêmes et d'être à l'aise.
The spaces around me were very much a setting for me for a lot of my life. Like, I am me in this place, not like this place is here and I'm in this space. I used to go hunting and fishing a lot, like growing up. And again, it's just like, oh, this is a different setting for me. Like, Doug is in this other setting now.
Je me sens comblée de pouvoir créer cet espace de soutien mutuel.
100%.
I was on to it. Yeah, Lourdes, this is actually so good.
The soup is harder.
Et trouver de la force et de
I
l'espoir.
do feel like the world and life just goes through cycles of just we do damage and then there's like that crisis for a few years and then Earth rejuvenates or the people finally come up with a solution and then we just go back to that same cycle, right? It's kind of like the same thing, like empires, they just rise and fall, right? And so I'm pretty optimistic about that as well.
Camille, tu vis de grandes transformations. Et c'est très beau à voir. Oui, comme dans tout changement, il y a des déchirures, des peurs, des douleurs. On veut et on ne veut pas. C'est normal. Grandir, devenir une femme, veut dire aussi se séparer de ses parents, se séparer de sa mère. C'est la force de la vie qui te pousse vers l'extérieur. Et c'est important que tu vives ça. Je sais que tu es capable de résoudre tous les conflits intérieurs. Mon amour pour toi va continuer de grandir toujours. Maman, tu m'as montré comment donner aux autres. Tu m'as montré comment créer du plus profond de mon esprit. Je n'arrivais pas à voir plus loin, malgré ne pas avoir poussé grand-chose en termes de plantes. J'ai fait croître autre chose dans ma poursuite. J'ai semé des nouvelles relations.
Just let me. Carlos, did you draw something?
I did.
Okay, excellent. Oh, I'm recording right now.
Wait, Lourdes, leave it on the what?
7, 8. Honestly,
I'm shy. Oh my god. Okay. Ready to go?
J'ai cultivé des amitiés.
This is so funny. I mean, sorry, I'm literally destroying your home. I'm like, ew.
J'ai renforcé les racines de la nôtre. Tu as toujours voulu le meilleur pour moi. Le meilleur pour moi, c'est de me pousser vers l'extérieur. C'est quand je suis mon cœur et que j'explose les limites de mon univers. Je t'aime, maman, à l'infini.
I'm ready this time to do the slow.
Okay, so I'll do this.
Like, I'm gonna like shoot something that should have been in color, and I'll never be able to get that back.
Yeah, yeah.
And with like